what's happened recently, and I'll jump into this real quick. Taxstone trial supposedly just started, I believe. Salute to Taxstone. If you don't know, one of the podcasters who was like, the original like street nigga podcaster. And he hasn't tweeted in a while, I believe. Well, actually, he did tweet, right? But he did tweet out not too long ago. Let me see. He tweeted out that there was jury selection happening in this case. Let me see if I could pull it up. Appreciate everybody that's been coming to court. That's what he says. To support me in Court B. Okay. All right. Now, I'm trying to see where he was saying about, jury selection just started. But he's saying he's going to come home free. He's very confident. Damn, he tweets a lot. Anyway, his trial just started. He's been sitting trial for a very long time. If you don't know the story, essentially, he had issues with Troy Ave. And, he showed up with Cassanova to Irving Plaza, where T.I. was performing. T.I. invited Troy Ave, who had a popular song at that time, to come perform. Him and Troy Ave always had words. They basically bumped into each other in the green room. What the story says, according to Troy Ave, Taxstone stood in his way, wouldn't move. They basically start fighting. Troy Ave allegedly takes out a gun, shoots the security that was with Troy Ave, then shoots Troy Ave. Troy Ave wrestles the gun, grabs the gun from Taxstone, and supposedly shoots at him and chases him out of the green room. More shots are fired, and we even see a few things on video. Right? Let me see. Troy Ave, Taxstone shooting. We ended up seeing this video right here. Here we go. Okay. So you see somebody who seems to have a blood stain on his leg, but apparently he got shot. He's limping out of, this is the green room, right? He's limping out of the green room. He has a weapon in his hand that supposedly he just took from Taxstone. And Taxstone just shot his bodyguard. His bodyguard got shot, I believe, in the chest, maybe the heart. His bodyguard is currently on the ground, bleeding out, and eventually dies. Troy Ave, who's shot in the leg, grabs the gun somehow, and now is chasing Taxstone, who ran out like a couple seconds before. There's a longer footage that show him running out. And then Troy Ave is in the club. This club is crowded. So now this is the general area of the club, and Troy Ave is now shooting. Taxstone. So he just murdered, or allegedly murdered, Troy Ave's bodyguard. and you basically get Troy Ave, who again, the blood is right here. He's trying to shoot him. Yeah, I thought it was a longer footage. But anyway, this has been going on for so long. It's kind of interesting because there's going to be a lot of social media stuff that get used in the situation. I'll play Taxstone's side, then I'll give you like my little breakdown of the case. Taxstone talks, Troy Ave talks, Taxstone. Just trying to remain neutral. He came on my podcast and he went ballistic. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm gonna be honest how I looked at it. It felt like,
and then make sure you premise it by telling people that you're easily fooled by, you still my man, but I gotta say, you're easily fooled by.
No, I'm fooled by what I see.
You're fooled by the smoke and mirrors.
No, hey, listen, I don't know what's really going on.
Cassanova is a fucking tough guy when he's a fucking monkey.
Whoa.
When he's begged for his life in front of me.
We're gonna talk about it.
No, but I'm saying
we're gonna talk about it.
You gotta turn it to people by, because your point of view is important.
Okay, no, it is, of course.
Like if a person is a racist, you gotta be like, well, wait, you gotta understand.
We're gonna get a Casanova. I'm talking about Taxstone.
But I want to say we call him Ratstone. Facts. But we want to say,
why do you call him Rat?
Why we call him? He wrote a fucking letter to the judge talking about crimes that I'm allegedly was involved in.
That's a lawyer though.
What do you mean that's a lawyer?
Somebody said, bro, he was trying to sell you. Yo, let me give you all a piece of content. You see, when I'm doing my content thing, go watch the shit with Hassan. Bro, I know how to play the greenest nigga on earth. Like, just give me the content, baby. Nigga, I came here to get the best content. Like, listen, me, I'm playing the role I need to play to get the reaction I need to get. Don't you worry about me, okay? Listen, Big Act don't need to come out. I'm chilling, okay? I'm getting the right content, okay? This is why I'm Big Act.
Yeah. How's that a lawyer? You pay your lawyer.
And plus, I got to play devil's advocate to get the best shit. What you mean? What you mean he's a rat? You know what I mean? Like, come on, what you mean he's a rat, bro? Like, you know what I mean? You know when I ask a question like that, how mad nigga get? What you mean? What do you mean he's a rat? Like,
hey, if you say, hey, Troy Ave and his friends, they shot these people. I'm not in jail for that. You blow him, not saying.
You know, when the nigga say that, I'm like, nah, he ain't say that. It works.
You blowing me up. But I'm not in jail for that. Now, what if they want to investigate me into that and I go to jail? Come on, dog. Don't do that. But we got to premise the people by saying that you are a person that you see.
Hold on.
You see shit and you be like, wait, this is at face value. This nigga might be tough.
I take it at face value. I won't know what's really going on. I won't really know what's going on in the streets. Whatever I see online.
Streets is a myth, dog.
If I see something online and you don't respond, I'll think it's true.
Streets is a myth. Troy Ave went to jail. Why my sneakers at the bottom look dirty? You see the top. It's still fucking dirty. Anyway, I went to jail. I paid my own bail immediately. I didn't cry to ask for nothing. I sat for 2 months.
A couple months.
I sat for 2 months. No. I didn't. You know why I sat for 2 months?
Why?
Wait, let me ask you. Why you think I sat for 2 months? Because we gotta get rid of all the myths.
They locked you up for attempted murder, and I thought you sat.
Go ahead.
Because
not only attempted murder, but keep going.
I thought you sat just because. Man, it's New York City. They don't play that shit like in a public establishment.
What are you saying? I sat because I had the money to bail out?
No, it's not because you have the money. I
can't think of them. I can't speak on the mind of problem. I don't want no beef. And you teaming up with fucking biggest gangsters if you pick and choose your battles. You can't be gangster with this person. You can't be fucking. You see Soulja Boy backstage and want to press him, but then when Nuke is on your body, I don't want no problem. I don't want no beef. And you teaming up with fucking. Cassanova teamed up with other Bloods and he dick wrote his way into an indictment.
Wait, so
pussy, don't drop the soap, nigga. Facto.
Wait, hold on. So
Still getting money.
So hold on. So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
I don't give it. I'm giving niggas hell until I go to heaven. I don't care. There's no rules to a reaction. It's no rules.
All right. Let me just give my breakdown. So, trial is about to start. I think it's going to be a very interesting trial, right? So, from what I understand, Taxstone has a gun possession charge, and he also has a murder charge, and I think an attempted murder charge, right? Now, here's the problem, right? So, again, I describe this case to y'all. A green room, bunch of celebs in it, right? Everybody's in it. Taxstone's already in there. I think Casanova was kind of like in another room. In walks in Troy Ave and his bodyguard. Apparently, he don't want to move. He probably would say that's not what it was. He probably would just say they attacked me. I think that's what he said in an affidavit to the judge. Like, yo, my client just got attacked, right? So let's say either or. They jump on Taxstone. Taxstone got a gun on him, allegedly. Pulls out the gun, shoots one guy, shoots the other guy. The gun falls because they're probably close to him or whatever. Gun falls. He runs out. Troy Ave picks up the gun, walks out, tries to shoot. Okay, what legally is probably going to happen? Number one, the biggest thing and the biggest problem here is that somebody died, right? There was a murder that occurred. Okay. Taxstone, I believe, is banking on the fact that there won't be eyewitnesses that will identify him as the shooter. Apparently, the security and surveillance footage in that room doesn't clearly show who shot. But the narrative, which really has been coming from, not Taxstone, Troy Ave, he's saying that's the guy who shot, right? So Taxstone is saying you're snitching. Keep in mind, this is where the street rules get weird. If you go out with your bodyguard and a nigga shoots your bodyguards and kills him and shoots you, and then all that's captured on the only camera that gets footage is the camera that gets footage of you with the gun in your hand, not the guy who shot y'all allegedly, you look really guilty. So at first, Troy Ave was looking at a murder charge. They were trying to say Troy Ave killed his bodyguard. Now, clearly, something has changed. Maybe more investigation is done. They're saying, and apparently they found Taxstone's DNA on the cartridge of the gun, which means he brought the gun to the club because he loaded the clip. The clip was never reloaded, so whoever loaded the clip before they brought the gun into the place, they brought the gun to the place. So they believe that's Taxstone. Now, Taxstone's been sitting for 5 years, 5 maybe 6 years. So let's just imagine that whatever gun possession, even if he pleads out and takes that, or if he gets found guilty for that, that's time served already. So don't worry about gun possession. All that matters for Taxstone is attempted murder and murder. This is why the whole conversation of snitching is happening. Because it appears that Troy Ave, while trying to claim self-defense, and by the way, self-defense laws rarely even go into play in New York, right? Like, they're trying to use it in the K Flock situation, but a lot of people might be like, well, you're not supposed to have a gun at all. So if you're not supposed to have a gun at all, how could you really be in a position of self-defense if you were already doing something illegal that led to something else happening, and then now you're using a gun, right? So it's weird. New York City is just weird because they don't allow no guns unless you're a former law enforcement agent or a current one that's off duty. So let me just say this again. New York City, which is the 5 boroughs, which is Queens, Brooklyn, New York City, Queens, okay, Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, and I think Staten Island. Is Staten Island one of them? I don't know. What the fuck? That's the 5 boroughs of New York City. In New York City, you cannot have a gun unless you're a law enforcement agent. It's probably one of the only places that you will never get a permit to have a gun. Okay? If you're caught with a gun, because that's why they used to do stop and frisk. Nobody's not supposed to have a gun unless you're a law enforcement agent. If you're caught with a gun, they usually just give people 3 years. So this is why self-defense don't kind of work. So since you're not supposed to have a gun, you having a gun is illegal already. And then, there's a bunch of legal jeopardies that happen because if you're already breaking the law and you went out seemingly breaking the law, how could you then try to claim self-defense when self-defense is usually to protect someone who is usually not doing anything wrong and now being victimized by somebody else? So that's why the K Flock situation is weird, because K Flock supposedly had a gun with him, right? You're not supposed to have a gun. So that's the thing they could argue intent to say, why is he walking around with a gun? Of course, his lawyer's going to be like, yo, he's a drill rapper, he needs a gun. But other people are going to be like, yo, Bro, he was walking around with a gun. Maybe he was looking for his enemies to try to do something to. It's not self-defense. Now in the situation with Troy Ave and Taxstone, allegedly Taxstone had a gun, but here's the thing with Troy Ave. Troy Ave supposedly didn't have a gun walking in. He supposedly fought and wrestled the gun away from Taxstone. Now that does sound like self-defense. Here's where self-defense stops though, because I would believe if Taxstone pulls out a gun, shoots Troy Ave, and kills his bodyguard, and somehow Troy Ave gets the gun and shoots Taxstone, they'd be like, that's self-defense. Somebody just shot you with a gun, you wrestled the gun, you shot him back, whatever. Unfortunately, this ain't Florida or Texas. So self-defense laws stop immediately once the person is no longer a threat, right? So if in the moment you grab the gun and shoot him, okay, we could probably be like, okay, you know what I mean? You neutralized him, as the baby would say. Cool, that's self-defense. Now, once you take the gun from the guy and he's running out, you can't chase, not in New York City. You can't chase him. Now, stand your ground laws in like Florida and Texas and even Georgia usually kind of state loosely, don't start no problems, because once you start it, the victim has all the right to finish it, right? So once you start the altercation, the person could stand their ground, and if it's open to interpretation what stand the ground means, because yeah, you might have punched a nigga in the mouth. If it escalates to him standing his ground and shooting you, he's beating the case. You get what I mean? Because that doesn't exist in New York City, Troy Ave running out the let me see if I can find the video again. Running out the room to chase Taxstone to shoot him. Troy Ave chase Taxstone. Let me see if I can play the video. Yeah.
It's a drug dealer, like.
Shit. Where is it again? Yeah, him running out the room and chasing him, that would technically not be self-defense. Actually, there's a bunch of charges that come with this. So this happened not only in New York City, which is a big no-no. This happened in Irving Plaza. There were other people hit. So in the room, which is the green room in here, right? There's a woman that gets shot. It's Mano's girlfriend. Apparently she got shot perhaps in the face, right? So Mano's girl gets shot, and the gun goes off a couple of times, but one of the time the gun goes off while pointed down, I guess maybe while wrestling it, and the bullet goes through the fucking floorboard and hits somebody who's on the lower floor, because that's where the massive people are. That's where the crowd is, right? So the trajectory of the gun or the bullet goes down, hits somebody there. So 2 other people get shot. So 4 people in total. Troy Ave, his bodyguard who dies, Mano's girl, and another person who's just a fan. Now, let's try to talk this through. And this is why I think the snitching thing kept coming up. What's probably going to happen is that they're going to say to Troy Ave, yo, Troy, check this out. Honestly, and I'm not picking no sides here, I'm just going off the story. And, apologies to Taxstone if, I don't know your side, or I don't know the intricacies of your side, but I believe most people are going to view this like Troy Ave is somewhat of a hero. Why? He's unarmed, allegedly. He gets shot. His bodyguards get killed, and he somehow wrestles the gun away from you and tries to defend and even pursue you. Now, he shouldn't pursue, but this is where the quote-unquote snitching things come in. So what charge could Troy Ave get for doing this? This is, I don't know if Troy Ave shot somebody by mistake. That would be definitely, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. But he's definitely going to get a charge for discharging a firearm in a crowded place, right? By the way, don't these charges sound similar to Tory, except these are going to get amplified because there's so many things that get, this is at a public venue. So, for example, the people who got shot, they sued the venue and they sued the company. This is a Live Nation venue. They're protected by hundreds of millions of dollars in insurance. The city also has certain type of financial incentives with these buildings. Basically, the people who got shot are suing. So when money is going to have to get doled out, somebody's going to have to go to jail. So it might not only be Taxstone, it might also be Troy Ave. But I think they're going to look to Troy Ave and say, listen, Troy Ave has a sympathetic case to what a jury might say, well, you took the gun away from him and then you shot back. Now, granted, this is what I think that Taxstone's story is going to be, or what his lawyer is going to say. His lawyer is going to say, yo, Taxstone was just chilling there. He was causing nobody no problems. He wasn't doing nothing to nobody. And what happened is Troy Ave started the altercation. Troy Ave walked in with his bodyguard, saw Taxstone by himself, probably said, yo, here's this pussy that's been talking shit about me online. I got people with me. He don't. Let's get this guy. Jumps on Taxstone, punches him up. Taxstone may have backed out a weapon, but he backed it out in his self-defense. You get what I mean? So I think that's where it's going to happen. But I believe because they're going to give the murder to, or they already did, to Taxstone, they're going to look at Troy Ave to say, Troy, for us to really convict Taxstone, we need you to testify. Because apparently there were 40 people in that room and nobody, just like the takeoff situation, nobody wants to talk. You know, Mano not talking. Nobody, everybody claimed they was in the room, they ain't hear nothing, they ain't see nothing, right? Cool. So you know who's going to have to probably end up talking? They're going to say, yo, I believe they're going to say to Troy Ave, yo, if you take the stand, we will probably give you a year in jail or something, a year in prison for what you did. But we're trying to get him for 40 years. We're trying to get him for life. You get what I mean? So now it comes down to the street ethics again. Troy Ave and Taxstone don't like each other. But if Troy Ave cooperates to save himself, which essentially some people, if this is not some street shit, you would look at Troy Ave as a possible victim, right? His man just got killed. He took the gun and shot at the other dude. You would say this thing is a hero. But this is the streets. In the streets, you're not supposed to cooperate. You're not supposed to talk to the cops, nothing like that. I think they're going to look at him and say, we could make your problems go away easier if you tell, or not tell, well, I guess tell, cooperate and tell us what Taxstone did. Do you do it? Do you do it, chat? What would y'all do? Give me a second. I'm trying to get caught up with the comments here. What would y'all do, chat? I see a lot of people in the chat saying this is what they would do.
I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it.
So essentially, this is what's just happening, bro. Like, you know, this is about to get to the point that I believe Troy Ave is going to have to take the stand, and he's going to have to make the statement to help the police convict Taxstone, to say Taxstone fired the fatal shot that killed my bodyguard and also shot me. And I believe if he gives that testimony, that will allow, right? That will allow Taxstone to have a favorable outcome for his pending charges. Now, Taxstone, no, not Taxstone. Now, Troy Ave claims that Taxstone is the one telling. And the reason why he says that is that apparently Taxstone letter to judge. So Taxstone's lawyer wrote a letter to judge. And in the letter, I don't know if I could pick the letter up. Where's the letter? I don't know if I can find it. Okay, here we go. We're going to get the letter. So where's the letter? Okay. In court papers obtained by Bossip, the tax season host said that it's Troy Ave, not him, who's facing attempted murder, and said the police have the video of him firing wildly, and blah, blah, blah. Further, Taxstone argues that it's Troy Ave and his crew that was implicated in another shooting days before, and that the best friend, Bango, who got killed, was on bail for the incident. So basically, I mean, his lawyer's doing what every lawyer does, saying, yo, we ain't doing it. Look at them other niggas over there. But according to Troy Ave, he says this is telling. He says, why are you pointing out crimes and pointing at me in court through a letter to the judge? This is why I keep telling y'all, as a gangster, you can't win because you can't argue your defense. You start arguing your defense, niggas say you snitch on them, right? And it's not even like your friends saying you snitch on them. It's the enemy. Yeah. So yeah, the podcast host lawyer points finger at Troy Ave involvement, whatever. In a letter to the judge, Taxstone's lawyer argued that he's no flight risk. He has a good job. And he questioned, oh damn, it's a little slick hating. He questioned why Troy Ave was granted bail despite facing more serious charges. All right. Anyway, it is what it is, people. It is what it is. Apparently, this is about to come to, probably a helm within the next couple of months. We will see, man. All right.